All right, fellas. So today, I wanted to get into like exactly what's gonna happen when you get on body game, right? Because it's lonely at the top, man. And there is a price. There is a price of getting lean, right? There is a price of body game. Obviously, when you're getting lean, yes, you have to say no to a lot of things. Yes, you have to be more locked in than most people. Yes, you have to be more disciplined. You have to be consistent. It's hard. There's hunger pangs. You know what I'm saying? You get some wins where people are like, "Dang, bro, you look great. Good job. Congratulations." All that shit, right? But you're gonna get a lot of haters, number one. But you're gonna lose a lot of people you thought were your friends, and you're just gonna grow apart with a lot of people, and you're gonna start to look at people differently when they don't care about their health, which is literally 90% of the population. Nobody fucking cares about nobody cares about nutrition, bro. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about what they put into their bodies. If they did, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cholesterol, all that shit would be way down. High blood pressure would be way down. Like, people give so little shits about what they eat that they get type 2 diabetes and they continue to eat what they eat, and then they literally get to the point of having kidney disease later down the road. Like, that's how much they don't give a shit about nutrition and taking care of themselves. Like, that's the average person. And you're going to start to become more self-aware through the journey, because when you first start tracking calories, what do? Right? You start realizing, like, wow, I've been eating a lot of sugar, a lot more fats than I thought, a lot more processed bullshit, a lot more carbs than I thought, way less protein than I thought, right? Then you're gonna realize that's why, you weren't getting the physique you wanted, but that's also why you felt like shit and sluggish 24/7, right? What you eat is super important, but you're gonna raise your standards, and when you raise your standards, because now you are paying attention to what you eat. Now you want to be the healthiest version of yourself. Now you want to surround yourself with healthy people. You raising your standards, you're going to lose a shitload of friends. Family might look at you differently. People might see it as a sign of disrespect, when in reality, it's really you putting yourself first, and you know, holding yourself to that standard. And in order to hold yourself to that standard, you have to be around people who hold themselves to the same standards. That's why people are like, man, Michael Jordan don't fuck with the hood. It's like, what would Michael Jordan do in the hood? What is he going to do? Hand out money to people? And then what are people going to do? Take the money? They're not going to learn anything. You see what I'm saying? Like, free handouts don't work. They just don't. All right. It's a mentality that doesn't work. If Michael Jordan went to the hood and gave everyone, $10,000, with their mentality, they're just going to spend it all. All right. If Michael Jordan gave me $10,000, 10 years ago, I'm spending all of it off rip. I'm getting $10,000 worth of Jordans. All right. That was my mindset back then. All right, so you're going to start surrounding yourself with people who are on your level. You're going to lose friends, of course. But yeah, people are going to look at you differently too. People are going to try to sabotage your goals. People are going to hate on you in different ways. They might say things like, "Oh, here you go again. What did you bring to eat? Oh, you probably brought some goofy shit." Like, when you go to work, and you're the leanest person there, and you're in shape, and all the chicks are choosing you, and all the dudes, are out of shape, they're gonna feel insecure as hell, because you being the best version of yourself is just it's just literally showing that, it's projecting that they're not being the best version of themselves, and makes them super insecure, makes them uncomfortable. So they're just gonna be like, "Oh, here you go again, eating those sexy meals to get sexy," or they're gonna say, "There you go again, eating those meals, the bird food." That's what they used to say. They used to be like, "You got the ground beef, you got the bird food again." And I was just looking at them. I was like, "Man, shut your fat ass up, nigga." But I ain't say that shit. Obviously, I was just like, they're just cooked. I'm not even gonna interact with them, because there they go eating. I mean, it's 12 p.m. and they're eating a fucking pizza and donuts, and they're talking about me eating ground beef. Don't eat too much protein. I'm like, bro, eat more than 1 gram of protein a day, bro. What? Like, you're not eating any protein, and I'm eating 93.7 gram beef. They're like, "Oh, beef could be bad for your kidneys," shit like that, man. You're gonna get a lot of people, hating on you and acting like they know best. Even in the comment sections and shit like that, you got people that are saying like, "Oh, keto works," but they're fat as fuck. You got people saying, "Don't eat too much ground beef; it's bad for your health," but they're 40% body fat, and they have heart disease, or they have high blood pressure because they eat like absolute shit, right? Or people drink beer and they're like, "Don't drink protein shakes." You have to ignore the haters. You have to stay focused. But yeah, man, it's low key a lonely journey, because you become so self aware. Like, it's literally the Matrix, bro. It's literally you taking the red pill in the Matrix, because you become so self aware, and you start looking at everybody differently. Like, dang, everyone just wants to be under this spell, because they don't want to deal with reality. They don't want to hold themselves accountable, and it's like you're just gonna see a bunch of people going through life, hating their life, not knowing that they have control. They can change their life by changing something they do every day, which is nutrition, right? That's a big factor. But yeah, man, like, when you get lean, you're really gonna start looking at things differently. Like, I literally, when I see people like, "Damn, bro, I can't lose weight," like, I now look at it differently, because when people used to be like, "I can't lose weight," I was like, "Oh, it's probably just genetics." Now I see people who say, "Man, I can't lose weight," and they might eat one meal a day, but that one meal is like 3,000 calories, and then they have one snack that's like another 2,000 calories, like Ben and Jerry's or some shit. And it's like, that's why you can't lose weight. You're eating no protein. all sugar, all fats, right? And it says people lack the self awareness to realize that, number one. But then also, you know, that people like the consistency. People get super excited and they burn out and shit like that. But also with getting lean, man, like I said, man, you're definitely gonna stand out everywhere that you go. And even like I said, even after this video, most people are not gonna be lean. You're still gonna stand out where you go because people just can't. They can't commit to it. They can't commit mentally to it. It does take a very special person to commit mentally to being lean. I've seen so many people quit because they are just not. They're not willing to change their identity for real. They just say they want the results, but they don't want to change it for real, right? And that's what the process is going to show you. But yeah, man, once you get to the top, man, you get on body game and shit like that, you're going to see, you're going to be like, damn, everyone in the gym works harder than me, but everyone in the gym has way more body fat than me. Nutrition, man. You feel what I'm saying? Awareness. As soon as they leave the gym, they turn off quote unquote beast mode. You should always be in beast mode. Always. Never turn that shit off. You see what I'm saying? Like everyone does this shit. Because I'm telling you, you're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna be on your journey. You might be 20% body fat, then you get down to 10, you're like, damn, I feel good. I look, and people are like, damn, you look crazy, you look amazing. And they keep going to different gyms and you're like, yo, I'm like the leanest in every gym. You're gonna realize that on social media. You see people in perfect lighting, yes, but you see the same 1,000 lean dudes, right? And half of them are on steroids. And that's 1,000 people. That's 1,000 people out of 8 billion people. Now, obviously, there's some people unaccounted for who don't post, but it is a very small percentage of people who have muscle and are lean. It's a very small percentage of people. So you're going to be very fucking rare. In real life, when someone sees you, they're going to be like, yep, that's the only lean person I'm seeing for the next fucking month. Like, literally, they'll be like, holy shit, I saw a lean person. That's the impression that you're going to get. That's the impression that they're going to get, and that's what you're going to get a lot of respect. You're going to get some hate, but you're definitely going to stand out. Like, you can't hide it. I don't care if you wear a baggy shirt, you can still see the V taper. You see what I'm saying? All that shit. So you're definitely gonna stand out. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be lonely at the top because it's gonna be hard to find people with your standards. Like literally, I I can't hang out with most people because all they do is drink, goon, pay attention to sports teams who don't give a fuck about them. Like they have a like it's weird to me when someone just has a big ass stomach, they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and all they care about is, well, is Deshaun Watson gonna play? I need my Browns to win. It's not your Browns, nigga. You don't own the fucking team. They don't know you exist, right? Like it's just crazy to me. It's some crazy shit. Yeah, you can watch sports, you can watch whatever you want to. It doesn't matter, but you got to take care of yourself first and not focus on things you can't control, right? So yeah, man, that's what's gonna happen when you're on body game, man. A lot of people are gonna try to sabotage you and try to give you advice, even though they're nowhere near where you want to be, man.